Alrighty guys, g'day. Hope you're all doing well. And as always, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are across this globe. Warm welcome. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you had a good weekend. Welcome to another big week on the charts. This week, not as much high impact news to come throughout the week. Obviously last week was a massive week with FOMC, with ADP, NFP, PMI. There was a whole lot more. Moving forward, just quickly have a look at news for today. Not much, well, nothing really that should really have any sort of impact on our session. Some minor euro news moving forward throughout the week. Obviously tomorrow, again, not a great deal of news that will affect us during our session. It's more Wednesday, obviously, when we start to get to some high impact news, and that is once again for the US dollar with CPI. So that's going to be a big one moving forward. We'll analyze that more thoroughly closer to the action on Wednesday. But for the time being, we'll focus on what we've got today, which is not much as far as news wise. And as always, guys, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button. I will start as I normally do with GJ. Also take a look at gold. Eventually get through onto GU, probably EU and NAS at some point. So without further ado, guys, welcome once again, and let's get started. And let's, as we always do, start with GJ, and then I'll get to the chat shortly, to the few of you in the chat. And as always, guys, the way I roll, I will throw in a Zoom link into the chat, and you guys are welcome to jump on, ask questions, or have a general chat. And if you're a dick, I just boot you. If you're a dick, I just boot you. So that's how it works on this channel for the time being. All right, so let's get cracking, guys. Let's have a look at GJ. Once again, starting the weekly. So on this particular chart, FXCM, we have actually opened with a gap to the downside. However, just based off the previous weekly candle, I'm calling that a weak bullish candle. We've got a long wick to the downside, so we did reject once again this previous resistance on that weekly time frame to the left, only to close back bullish, higher low, lower low, higher high to the previous candle. For much of last week, we were forming bearish until we actually began to break once again, flip bullish, and obviously we continue for the remainder of the week to end the week as a bullish candle. I would call it a weak bullish candle. So what that suggests to me, that really it doesn't give me all that much, to be honest, seeing as a lower low and a higher high to the previous. However, current candle, what I'm going to do is mark in the low of that candle. Not really create much of a low week, but obviously yet to break the high of the previous weekly candle. So we'll see what we've got once I go down to the daily and M30 time frame. Just bear with me 2 seconds, guys, and I'll get onto that. All right, I'm back. So looking at the daily, structure wise, we do remain bullish. What we do have on the daily time frame is that previous candle closing with a long wick to the downside. That to me suggests, and look what we're closed above, this resistance to the left. So that suggests to me that we've likely grabbed liquidity from the range below. Once we go down to the 4 hour and M30 time frames, will be more evident. And seeing we close back bullish near our high, what the current candle is more likely to do is create a bit of a low wick, which it has done, form a support at the low, and begin to break above that previous daily candle's high. And looking at targets to the left, I've been looking at that 191.90 sort of level, so not that great deal of margin really above the current daily candle's high based off the daily time frame. But we'll see what we've got again once we get down to the 4 hour time frame. So we are bullish, and we have counter probabilities on our side on the daily time frame. Now the 4 hour still remains bullish from this one big impulse from the 19th. So Tuesday the 19th, last month, March. Anything between these lows and these highs, we are bullish in structure. What we also have now is the micro trend towards the end of last week actually flipped back in line with the structure itself. We have pulled back, create a higher low. Obviously we yet to retest these highs, but we are technically bullish. The previous 4 hour candle did close a strong bullish candle. So what I can see is above that level, we have some pretty clean traffic up to around that 192.10 sort of level. That could be a potential target based off the 4 hour time frame. So you can see, guys, as I go down the time frames, how I'm working through it, and I can find some more levels, targets, entry sort of points based off all the different time frames. So the 4 hour sort of opens up the range above a little bit to give us a little bit more margin for potential buyers above the current daily candle's high upon continuation. Now, having said that, marking the current daily candle as low, if we were to continue bullish, so we have a high low high high to the previous daily candle, really have no need to pull back and break our own low. If we do so, you see it's a pretty clean candle to the left hand side and move up. We could likely pull back down. If we start popping below that resistance previously to the left, it could be options to potentially take a sell back down towards that 191 sort of level based off the 4 hour time frame. So I'm just going to mark in some zones of resistance and support. So we're going to mark in the most recent high above the current level. I will mark this in because that gap is likely to be a bearish candle on other providers. So we'll mark that in as a 4 hour support, and I'll also mark in these lows, and I'll adjust it once again once I go down to the M30. All right, so that looks pretty clean to me. Just gonna leave those in. All right, so this is good. What we can see just now is, now the M30 structure wise, we are now bullish. Well, look at it again, it depends on what provider you're using. I say this is bullish, this is one swing, so once we've begun to close above that level, I would say we flip the structure bullish on that time frame. So therefore the bias is technically to the upside, guys. It's bullish across the board. So having said that, doesn't mean I'm not discounting any sell options, but what I'll have to first of all, I'm going to mark in some levels on the M30. So I'm going to mark in the daily candles high. I'm going to change that to blue. We know it's 30-minute level, it's not as significant. Now I want to include, let me go back to the 4 hour for a moment. Okay, because let me look at a different provider. You see that's an actual bearish candle, so it's a resistance on, I wonder. Obviously the bearish candles confirm resistance. So therefore, I'm going to now bring up my drawings again. I'm going to just drag this across. So that's a 30. No, actually, I'm going to leave that in. All right. So in GJ, moving forward today, what I can see is my bias is to the upside, but currently consolidating. So once again, if we are to continue bullish, we should really respect the current daily candles low. So therefore, look, first of all, the buy options, guys, either upon the pullback towards that 191.60, if we form a support above it, if I get the right catalyst and I do have enough margin, so if we make a nice clean move down, maybe even if we pop into that range below and need to reject and close back above, that could be a potential buy option from back above that 191.60, 191.60, 191.620, that sort of level. Just going to mark in back of the high of that previous resistance to the left. Now, further buy options, obviously if we pull back further, at that point you could say retest the M30 structure, and if we hold structure, form a support above that 191.40 roughly, then obviously buy options will make sense from lower down. I prefer us to respect the current daily candles low if that was to be the case, and form a support above it. That would give me a bias to once again to look for a potential buy option. Now, obviously, what we've done now within the current daily, as I mentioned at the start, create a higher high, high low to the previous. At the high, we formed a minor resistance. Similar to this, the support, similar analysis. So if we are to continue bullish, we form a support and we begin to break above the current daily candles high. At that point there, we have high, 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 low once again. On continuation, I will look for a buy above those highs. So I'm just going to mark that in. Whoops. Buys above. All right, so if we do retest, then again, we'll form support within the current daily candle. We're likely to continue to the upside. Now, as for the sells, guys, so obviously, if we pull back and retest the current daily candles high, I need to reject, even if we pop into that range above that 191.820 roughly. Got some very clean traffic. We should continue to the upside. But however, if we reject, form a bit of minor support below the daily candles high, the resistance form the daily candles high, I will look for my catalyst to potentially sell it. Now, it's going to be higher risk because it's against the bias, against the structure. But if I get the right formation within price action, I would consider selling it from up at these highs. Now, further sell options, once again, we have just formed support on our way up, and we've got this resistance to the left hand side of it. We start to pop below it, tap in, maybe bounce off it, maybe even consolidate a bit, and we start to pop back below at 191.60 level. Closures below it, I would look for also potential sell options at that point there to take it back down on a deeper correction towards that 191.40. So that would be, in my opinion, a potential sell option as well. And obviously further sell options below 191.354, as I mentioned earlier. We were to continue bullish, we have that higher low, higher high in the daily. We have no need to pull back, retest the low, break it, close below it, tap in, and then we're likely to come down a bit further. So I'll also look for the sell option below these lows as well. So I'm just going to mark that in. And that is pretty much GJ, guys, moving forward. So we'll see where we're at. I'm just a little bit concerned by this previous resistance here to the left. We have formed support at this point here. Yeah, so I can see if people are interested in potential sell below 191.650. But I'm just a little bit concerned that we may tap in, form a support, seeing we're in a solid uptrend, and head back up towards the current daily candles high. So that is GJ, guys. So hopefully it makes sense. Let me know if it did. Make sure to hit the like button. And I will get to you guys in a chat shortly. I'll analyze gold, get that done before EU open. All right, so making a little bit of a pullback just now, that's fine. Would not have been interested in getting involved in that, to be honest. All right, so we're in a massive uptrend once again on gold, as we can see. So weekly, first of all, closed right up at its high. Have we got the margin, the liquidity to continue to the upside? Let's skip all these time frames and go straight to the M30, and let's just see what happened in the current daily candle open. So there it is, just there. Okay, we popped down, because what I wanted to see is if we did pop up, was that the liquidity that we did not have towards the end of last week, and that hence why we closed with no upper wick. That's what I was looking for. If we popped straight up, and maybe this pullback would be more justified. We could pull back a little bit further, but we did not. So obviously the weekly high, low, high, high already. Got to mark in the weekly / current daily candles low, just see what we've got below that level. Daily time frame, look at that. Who's been paying attention? Who's been on these streams since I started? If you have been, you'll know exactly what I'm looking at just there. And it translates across any time frame, guys. That would have played out absolutely perfectly, and you'd be in big profits right now. Huge profits. In fact, you'd be up 300 plus pips. You'd be laughing. You'd be done for the month probably. What I'm looking at is that interruption. So we've got this clean impulse to the upside, impulsive leg. In between it, it's going to look a bit messy. To get the zoom call up running, it'll be easier to draw. We've got this one pause, this one bearish candle amongst this big move to the upside. Now I'm just going to remove these drawings. Now what we can see is it's formed at the high. That's the highest point. We had the previous daily candle only engulfed it. Well, that engulfed it, and engulfed it considerably. So at that point there, based off the interruption candle entry, you're placing a sell limit order back at the high of that bearish candle in anticipation price is going to pull back to grab liquidity around that previous level, that previous resistance, and bounce off it, which is exactly what it's done. At the open, literally the tagged win, pop straight up, and you'd be safely and very happily in profits. So that's just a little bit of just an example of how to use the interruption. Anyway, back to the daily. Excuse me. We are bullish. Count probabilities to the upside. Onto the 4 hour. Bullish. Previous candle did close once again a very strong bullish candle. As long as we respect the previous candle's high, would there be options to sell it? I'm just going to mark in the current daily candle's high. Any sells would be very high risk because we are in such a solid uptrend. I have no idea at the moment where I can that zone. I'll have to adjust the M30, but I want to mark it in because it was a candle that formed a resistance on the flyer. We're yet to tap into it. Want to see what happens if we do begin to tap into it, if we actually pull away from it or we sink below it. All right, so that zone's pretty much on point actually. All right, so down to the M30 time frame. So now we've got, wow, we've got current candle printing bearish, really haven't created much of an upper wick. So onto the M30, we are once again technically bullish, and we will remain bullish as long as we respect the current daily candles low. So very similar to GJ, we respect that level. I would look for my potential buys. Doesn't mean there might not be any sells upon a potential pullback in between, but I would rather look for my buy options. So first of all, first buy option is I want to see how price reacts to this 2,330 level. We've not yet retested it since we broke it at early into the Asian session. So if we pull back, form a support above it, seeing we're making a decent move just now, I will look for my potential buys upon my catalyst forming above that resistance. So really anywhere above the resistance, I'll just put in high of it for the time being. All right, now further buy options, we close above the resistance formed right near the high, perhaps tap into it, bounce off it, and begin to break the current daily candles high. I will also look for my potential buy options at that point there. So I'm just going to mark in buys above on continuation. Now obviously buys down low, so this is a very similar analysis to GJ, guys. We do pull back and just melt and come back down towards that 2,305, 306 sort of level. I would also look for my potential buy options upon support forming above that level. So that is the buys on gold. Now for sells, very similar to GJ, I want to see how we react to this previous resistance on the 4 hour. We are to bounce off it, we'll likely head bullish. If we bounce off it though and begin to retest and pop below it, at 2,328 sort of level, do have some clean traffic to the left, and that could suggest we're going to make a deeper pullback to grab a little bit more liquidity. Doesn't mean we're flipping structure or anything. Doesn't mean we're going to start trading bearish throughout, you know, the rest of the day and the week. We don't have really much to go by to suggest that just yet. However, if we do pop below that 2,328 with the right confirmations, I would contemplate sell orders, but it needs to be perfect. Seeing it is in such a huge uptrend, I want any counter trend entry to be a perfect entry. That should be buys above. And that is probably it on gold, to be honest. I'm not going to mark any sells below at this point, so we're nowhere near it. So once again, hopefully that makes sense, guys. And as for the focus, got about 5 minutes until EU open, just 4.5 minutes, just under. Probably GJ seems to be a little bit closer to they're similar, to be honest. I'll keep an eye on gold on my MetaTrader, and we'll watch GJ for the time being on TradingView. In the meantime, guys, welcome. Hope you all had a good weekend. Good morning to you, Josh. Hope you're well, brother. Are you in the gym? Emil, good to see you can make it, my friend. Hope you're well. Good afternoon to you on this very grey afternoon here in Melbourne. Silent, good day to you, my friend. Hope you had a good weekend. Hey, good to see you, brother. Happy to see you. Like your stream, that'd be appreciated. Leon, good to see you too. As always, familiar names. Appreciate you guys joining. Emil, do you execute on the line time frame or just the M30? The M30 is still pretty much the catalyst, but I use the 15 and the 5, and even very occasionally, like I'm talking about a couple times a year, maybe the 1 minute time frame, to be honest, on a delayed sort of breakout if I am to take any breakout entry. And Ian, good day to you, my friend. Hope you're well. So that is GJ and gold. How long? We've got 3 minutes. Let me see if I can quickly analyze GU. I'll do this one quickly. So the week bullish, similar GJ, lower low, higher high to the previous, not giving us much. However, if we begin to flip back bullish, we potential possibilities. Let's see. Seeing we're not really create much of an upper wick. Daily doesn't look fantastic for that. Hammer candle closure on the previous candle. Are we going to fill that wick, or could we potentially flip bullish? Was this just a liquidity grab from the downside? And if we begin to flip bullish and break above that previous daily candle side, that will probably suggest that was the case and we could continue to the upside. Structure wise, we are technically bearish, but we've bounced off the high time frame support. So let's look and see what we've got on the 4-hour. And as per towards the end of last week, so on Friday, it actually flipped bullish. So we've got the 4-hour bullish, we've got a week bullish weekly, we've got 4-hour bullish, we've got the daily as bearish. 4 hours a little bit choppy above the current level, finding it hard to find some clean areas on GU as per the case last week, I think it was. Just going to do that for the time being. Onto the M30 time frame. So we are rejecting 4-hour level yet again. So the M30 structure wise, we are technically bearish by the looks of it, and we've just rejected that 4-hour zone. What we've done just above or below that level, sorry, is form a minor support. So perfect. GU, if it starts to pop below this minor support formed on the pullback to that resistance. So below 120, that's not right. Oh, nor is that. Below 126.278 roughly. Because what we've done is, within a current daily candle, we've created a low, we've created a high. Within that move, we have just pulled back and we've formed a support. We are now retesting that support. If we are to continue bullish, we should respect that support. Below that support, we have clean traffic to the left. It will make sense if we begin to pop below it, blows below it, tap in, we're likely going to head back down towards that 126, 160, 150 sort of level. So for that matter, I would put in sells below the support formed on the way up. Now, as for the buys, is there enough? There is absolutely no margin above this bullish candle. I would say it's a difficult one because you just don't have the margin. Just depends where at close to the open. I mean, if it is consolidating around here and you get a nice strong bullish closure, potentially. But I'm not a big fan of the buys at the current level. In all honesty, buys are going to be difficult right now. Gee, I prefer a closure above the 4-hour resistance for buyers above that 126.470. And thing with that is you got to then consider psychological round number 126.50. So that's probably the likely area above the 4-hour resistance where you might want to get involved. Otherwise, buys from lower down. If it does pull back, form a support above current daily candles low, I'll look for potential buy options at that point there. So that's quick analysis on GU. Got EU open. Let's see what the deal is. All right, so GJ still in consolidation. Yeah, gold hasn't retested that zone just yet. So once again, keep an eye on GJ. And yeah, good morning to you, Franco. Hopefully you're just in time for that GU analysis. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Once down, thank you for good pair analysis on GJ and gold. Not a problem, my friend. Glad you appreciate it. Franco, you did catch it. Nice one. All right, I will pop a Zoom link in. And once again, guys, I popped the link to the Zoom chat into the YouTube chat in good faith. Just setting that up. All right, there it is, guys. If anyone wants to pop on, say good day, feel free. No pressure at all. Also, guys, did anyone actually catch that video that I posted on YouTube? The trade recap video from last Thursday, I think it was, on GJ. If you have not done so, suggest having a watch. Definitely something to learn. There's a limit order entry, so yeah, definitely worth a watch if you haven't done so. Free education, that's what I'm trying to pump out as much as I can at the moment. Sean, all good, brother. All good. How are you? Also, being a Monday, guys, there is absolutely no rush at all. Let the markets set up a bit. What I generally find is, I think it's easier, or not necessarily easier, there's no such thing as easier in Forex, but I think it's probably sometimes better just to wait for MY session, to be honest, because at least at that point there, you got 2 full sessions of data being printed throughout the day. What you have is a high and a low, and you have data within it. So likely what I find is come pre-MY or MY session, you're either going to be looking for one or two things. Either that pullback to sell it or buy whatever from support, or the buy or sell upon continuation. Likely that's what you're looking for. But like I mentioned, at that point, at least you got a fair bit of data put in throughout the day. So more information to go off. But yeah, I mean, I'm still not opposed to trading London session at all on a Monday. But I think I mentioned it before, a lot of guys that I coach don't bother with it. They won't trade Mondays. Sure, not bad. Nice one, brother. So anyone looking at anything in particular right now, let me know. You are. In the meantime, what I will do is going to have a little bit of a look at NAS and do some analysis on NAS moving forward. Once again, I've also actually dropped some early charts into my Twitter page. So again, on cue. If you have not done so, it's worth a follow. All right, so looking at NAS, and let's start the weekly time frame. So this particular provider, Blackball, it's open with gap to the upside. Let's look at it quickly on this chart. Oh no wonder. So it's closed back a weak bearish candle. Current candle as per to be expected. Not really much volume throughout the Asian session. But once again, based on that candle itself, the previous weekly, it is a weak bearish candle. It does have pretty much, I think that just broke fractionally above the high of the previous candle. Just barely, but it did. So we have that higher high, lower low scenario. It did close back bearish, almost tap into this support, which I think when we go down to the daily, we'll see we actually did. You could argue did, all this level to the left hand side. Daily, structure wise, remains bullish, bounced off the daily support and closed a strong bullish candle. The issue is above that previous daily candle, very strong resistance to the left hand side. You're just entering consolidation below the current daily candles low. Let's see if I can go back to the other chart now. So let's see what we've got below the current daily candles low. Clean candle up, could have some clean space once we go down to the 4 hour M30. 4 hour time frame, we have technically flipped that. Oh, just depends again. Could argue it's still technically bullish. Look, I'd call it bearish in all honesty. So in that case, that means we've got the daily bullish, got the weekly bearish, and we've got the 4 hour as bearish. The 4 hour has formed. I'm just going to include the current daily candles low. See what we've got below that level. I'll include that wick to the left, the highest point of that, and see what we've got above it. I'm sure it's a lot cleaner. It is a bearish candle, so I'll just drag it across. As for support, what I'm going to do is just fix this up a little bit, include that support a little bit lower down. All right. So on NAS today, the M30 structure is definitely bearish on this particular chart. So the bias, you could argue, is actually flipped to the downside. Having said that, once again, on this move back up, we've formed a resistance, we've formed a high low. So now if we begin to pop above the resistance, we have some clean traffic to the left above that high at 18,212,680. So once again, we're going to see a nice strong closure above that level and look for continuation. Once again, I prefer it around that MY open time volume. So I'll be putting in buys above. And buys, well, I mean, this was a time volume I'd be considering jumping into buy right now, because what we've done is created a daily low just here. We've tapped into this 4-hour support, we've bounced off it on the M30, formed a support, we've created minor resistance on the previous candle, long wick to the downside, pretty much tapping into that level yet again of support, only to reject. So likely what that suggests to me is we'll grab liquidity from the downside, should now push up towards that 1814 sort of level, 140. Again, will not be touching this bar of soap at the moment, to be honest, in the time of day. So having said that, we have also formed resistance at this point here within the current daily candle. Now, if we are to continue, hold on, let me change the color of that. That's what I'm trying to do. If we are to continue bearish, then we should not pop above it, close above it. And if we do so, we have that gap. We're likely going to fill that and continue to the upside towards that 18175 sort of level. So I'd be looking for closures above 1814 for my potential buy options within the current range on NAS, buys above. Now on the flip side, if we pull back, reject that level, then I'd be looking for my potential sell options as well, guys. Respecting resistance, just trading the range. So I'll be putting just sells back below it. And sells upon rejection, if we do reject that between 18175 roughly to 1820, then I'd also look for my potential sell options to take it back down. And just playing the range at that point. And aside from that, we do start to close below the support formed here at 180758.8. Got some bearish wicks to the left, but if we get a nice strong closure below it, again, time volume tap in, rejection, then I think we're likely heading down a little bit further. So that's what I'd be looking for on NAS. Just quick analysis on NAS. Once again, I would not touch this with a bar of soap this time of day, but I like to do the analysis. And seeing the clocks have changed here, I'll probably start trading a little bit more, because I'll probably trade a bit during the MI session. Once I start the group, that's one benefit you get from joining, and it will be for free, especially at the beginning. I will do some private streams with the Discord guys for our MI session. Gold still yet to tap into that zone. That's what I want it to do at the moment. If I was to look for buys, just to feel more comfortable, I want it to pull back to grab, to retest that zone to see if we are to respect it. At that point there, to me, it's likely just to be a grab of liquidity before we are to continue up. I got the title right? Let me see. How's the weekend, guys? What's been going on? Joe, morning to you, brother. Hope you're well. Back from holiday, my friend. Back from holiday, nice one. I think it's easier to get back into swinging things from a short holiday. It's always tough when you come back from a longer one. Get motivated again. But like you kind of need a holiday after a holiday just to get, you know, back into the swing of it. That's what I always find. GJ just consulting, absolutely nothing on that right now. Got roughly just over 45 minutes until London session officially opens. Franco, GU M15 time frame, like it's definitely will for you, my friend. Okay. Yeah, so it's about to close. It's got no lower wick. It could pop straight though, because that wick has tapped into the resistance. It's likely to pop straight down. I would be still not so comfortable with it though, until we have the 30-minute closure below. But if that is to be the case, you're likely going to miss the move. It's a tough one. It's always a tough one when you have no lower wick, to be honest. But when you've got a candle, because look, that's just tapped into the most recent resistance formed upon that pullback, only to reject. And usually when you have a candle closing like so, what usually will happen on the following candle is it just melts. In this case, that's the liquidity grab within that previous 15-minute candle. It's just harder to trust of the 15-minute time frame though. But yeah, if you're not in it, will not force it just now, mate. I'd just be waiting for the 30-minute closure. If it closes below, there are going to be options either for that sell limit order, like similar to what we took last week on GJ, or upon continuation. Not in. Yeah, that's what I'd be waiting for right now, my friend. I'd just be waiting to see where the 30-minute closes. Had the 15 actually closed below, and I probably would have considered it, to be honest, but it's still closed technically above that bullish candle's wick. But nonetheless, good to see the analysis playing out. But I reckon my focus right now would be probably that limit order if it does close this strong bearish candle. I'd be targeting a potential entry back at the low of that support, so around that 1.26278, 275 roughly. Alright guys, I'll be back in just one moment. Alrighty guys, I'm back. So GJ also breaking, GU continuing to the downside. How about gold? Yeah, not a great deal of volume yet on gold. Joe, new soundtrack, bit of classical. To be honest, it's the only thing that doesn't give me a, well, it's not technically a copyright strike, but it's you still get the copyright. I don't know what it is, because it doesn't, I think if you get 3 strikes, you lose your channel, but it's not an official strike, but you're not, basically it just tells you that you wouldn't be monetized for that video, which I'm not monetized anyway, to be honest, but yeah, it's just like a warning. So all the other tracks I used to play, I thought I'd get away with it, and after 2-3 days it would pop up, your stream has been copyrighted. But yeah, this doesn't, so this is the way I'm rolling for the time being. I mean, if anyone has any ideas of what I can do, I'd be happy to change it up a bit from time to time, but I don't mind this, to be honest. It's all good. It's a Forex stream, so we don't need the house music and that all that much. All right, gold, sorry, 8 minutes left. We'll be getting a bullish engulfing M15. Tapped into this level here to the left. Is that on the M30? That's a wick on the M30. Is that the level we're retesting before we head back up? Or are we still going to come back down to that 4-hour level? That is my concern, that we're still not yet pulled back to this resistance. Now it's very different on the different providers, but we're still not even pulled back on this one as well. Yeah, I want to see how we close in 7 minutes. How's GU going? Alright, so GU could still potentially present that limit order. So with GU, you don't need to close as significantly below because this still looks like a decent closure blow closed as is. And GU, there's not as much volume in these candles, so the upper wick will likely be only 3-4 pips a lot of the time. And for it to pull back, in this case, if it closed around that 255, 260 sort of level, and then it has pulled back about 2 pips. So that could still, in my opinion, be valid. Whereas if that was GJ or especially gold, I would not even think about it, because it's likely going to pull back to create an upper wick. It could be a lot more than just 2 pips. You don't want to be stuck in that drawdown. So GU is one to watch if anyone does trade it and is interested in it. Gotta get rid of that GJ sell. I've had that for a few days. And it looks cleaner above that level. Wow, these are some big candles on gold. Some very big candles on gold. That's already about 50 pips. It doesn't look like much, but it is. Once again, what I'm seeing is we have tapped into this candle, which actually formed a resistance at the previous resistance. We haven't quite tapped into a 4-hour level. That is the only concerning thing for me. So once again, from experience, what I've seen in the past is if we have a level like so, and we've not yet tapped in, we do get these pauses near it, only for it to eventually be wiped out. And it happened last week on stream. The next candle did this. To actually come back and tap in. That is my only concern. That could be the case. And if that is the case, then what we've done is form resistance at that point there. And as soon as we're going to pop above it, that's when you get the cleaner buy options. Because you've grabbed that liquidity from that 4-hour zone, you bounced off it, you got a nice strong closure. And that's really what I prefer to see. But we'll see what we've got, because this also does actually tick the box in probably enough confidence to look for an entry. Got, first of all, bullish engulfing potentially on the 15-minute. You've tapped into that candle once again, like I said before. You are bullish. You're bullish across the board. 4-hour close strong bullish. Could we have just formed a low of the current 4-hour? Form of support within it, and are we ready to continue to the upside? Probably enough confidence is there as well. We shall see. Good morning to you, Josh. Good to see you in the chat. I'll pop you up on the screen in a sec. Here we go, man.
Alright, man.
How are you, brother?
Hi, how's it going?
All good, mate. All good. How about you?
Good, man. Tired. I've been up since about 1 o'clock this morning to watch the WrestleMania weekend that's happened. And I am a little bit tired, but I did have some trading session, and I'm pretty much up to 2K in profit already from this morning.
Looking nice on gold, or?
Yeah, on gold, yeah. I was on 2038, and it just flew all the way up to that swing high.
Yep.
Literally, yeah.
Nice one. Contemplating this buy just now. Yeah, 15 minutes engulfing. Yeah, 5 minute hasn't popped above this resistance. I think I'm going to wait for that, for a closure above it.
Yeah.
We are pulling back. I think it'll just give me a little bit more confidence at this stage.
Yeah, I mean, it's likely to make a retracement at some point because you already had this swing high already. It could just, it may have already had a pullback from not long ago. So it can make like a 50% retracement or even 100% retracement during London session. But it depends because we've still got like a whole day for the market to make a decision.
Yeah, exactly.
After the NFP session that we had on Friday.
Yep. It's just closed with basically no upper wick as well, which is a little bit off-putting.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think I'm just gonna wait for the time being, just see. I mean, if this...
How was...
Go on, man.
I said, how was your weekend?
Yeah, good. Busy as always, but nah, all good. Nothing special, man. Just the same old.
Yeah.
So with the background business, and yeah. How about you?
Yeah, I was due to do overtime at work last night, but I actually had the extra body, so I didn't actually need to work. So I was trying to catch up to sleep.
Good one. Good for you.
Saturday I was working, and yeah, I really needed the sleep recovery, to be honest.
Yeah. Nice one.
Yeah, it's not bad though.
Very tempting on gold, but in all honesty, it's just best to wait for your proper analysis to play out and not jump in on something in between. So I'm just gonna wait to see if we get a 5 minute closure. We're now retesting that resistance that we formed on the way down. So I want it to close above, and then I want to see a bit of a tap in.
Yeah, I think that's the best shout, and we do have the London session opening in the next half an hour.
Yep.
So we could literally wait after that and see what the play is as well.
See if it makes gives us any direction.
Precisely.
Yeah, it's making a move just now. Pushed a little bit too far. Geez, so that would have given, that's a quick move. These candles have a lot of volume. That's already pushed 25 pips. Wow.
Yeah, it's interesting because this is all since the Asian session. When you look at the opening they had, it went bearish, and then it must be around like my time, about 1 o'clock in the morning. It made the flip down to the 2300, and it literally went back up.
Yep. Yeah, it's just it's literally tapped in. So I had a level marked in prior to the stream, which I didn't delete, and that literally this level. Just have to drag it across basically, and that's where it's tapped into, and just bounced straight off it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, well, not gonna get that 5 minute closure above. It's pushed a little bit too far. Never mind, that's okay. Still early, just Monday. Emil, hey Justin, do you normally trade before London Open? Yeah, not afraid to trade before the Open. Prefer it to be probably any time between, if I am to trade before the Open, probably not before EU Open, to be honest. I prefer it to be around that 1 hour prior to London Open. At least at that point there, you've got that liquidity coming in with the EU Open as well. Man, gold, wow. Shoulda, woulda.
I gotta admit, Justin, I was already on the trade around 23.33. I didn't expect it was gonna actually go this high already.
Yeah, look, it's hard to know. Obviously, you never really have expectations. You could pull back further. Mate doesn't necessarily have to, but just concerned by this 4 hour. That was my concern. But now for flips, I mean, and this thing could go.
It could literally go like a 23.60 if you look at it. That's like a psychological number.
Yeah. Yeah.
All-time highs already. Like, what are the chances it could go even higher?
It definitely could continue. It breaks the current daily candles high, seeing its form support within it. Man, that's gold for you. Doesn't just leaves no prisoners, just goes. Mill, didn't know about EU Open, thought just NY, London, Asian, and Oz. Yeah, well, EU's just before London, and similar to Oz, just before Asian. So yes, EU's an hour before.
Did you look at the trading session during AFP afterwards, Justin?
No, I wasn't on. A little bit too late for me. I think I was after midnight. It was around midnight.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't bother with it. But looks an interesting. It flew, didn't it?
Yeah, I was quite surprised, to be honest with you. The results for me for the news was a little bit stale, to be honest.
Yeah.
And there was a good opportunity during, I can't remember which exactly the price action it was. It was around, I did take a buy, what was it, at 22.98.
22.98. Oh, okay, around here.
Yeah, so you can see the frame, the first bearish candle. That's when the news actually happened.
Yeah.
And then it literally flipped.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty solid entry. That's a pretty solid entry because that's pretty much grabbed that liquidity.
Yeah, I wrote it up to 23.20 as TP.
Yep. Wow.
So that was
would have hit that pretty quick.
Yeah.
Happy days.
Yeah, very good days, man.
How about that trade you had? I think you had one open going into, or you said I think you said you secured most of it, but still had a little bit going.
I took like 90% already, so I'm not worried about the 10% trade that left. But it's again, we spoke about privately that it was about risk management and focusing on loss sizes. If people are struggling with risk management, the main thing you need to look at is how much are you willing to enter in the trade with your loss size.
Yeah, exactly.
Before the trade, you know.
Correct. So I mean, it's not going to make you emotional if it goes against you, if you lose it, because that's also the risk about, you know, trading into news or trying to trade at the release.
Yeah.
But
that's
yeah, that's why I would suggest personally to do it on like a little side account.
Yeah, it's all about focusing on your psychology as well, you know.
Yeah.
If you can master your psychology, then you should have no issue with focusing your emotions during trading, wherever it is you're on, demo, prop firm, or live account.
Yeah, that is true.
You know, you can always master that first before you can actually take whatever is easy option for you first. Like I've said it to you privately, I'm on demo account, and you know, I've got targets, and when I meet those targets, I don't go and blow it all away within the next week. I actually stay on my course to even lower my loss slices, even down one extra down.
Practicing proper habits.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then, yeah, that's literally it, bro. Yeah.
Well, that's what you do, because you build these sort of good habits now while you're still in that sort of practice mode. And then once you go into that live account, it's a slightly different feeling, but at least you've drummed into emotional side of things, what to expect. So I think it holds you in really good stead, to be honest.
It's literally all about focusing what's the best interest with loss sizes and emotion.
Yeah.
Then you can literally go for the next opportunity, which is what's next.
Yeah, exactly.
Trading. Just take it step by step, day by day.
Yeah.
We're here pretty much every day in our lives to try and learn and educate ourselves. Don't need to ruin it in one day.
No, and that's what you do when you're on a chart. You always come across something new. Like, I mean, obviously I've got a new entry, which has been working really well. It's just a matter of me being on the charts at the same time each day. That's why I've noticed certain things happening. But yeah, you come on charts with no expectations, but you pick up on things. You have your game plan, and you just gotta really stick to it. And that's probably the best way forward.
That's exactly it.
God, it's tough also when there's no upper wick, but exact same as GU. What I said before about the sell. Long wick. I mean, GU is now, wow, GU's doing the opposite. So the long wick initially that GU had was on the M15 time frame. That candle did exactly is what I'd see most candles do after a candle closure, like so in a previous candle. And gold, same type of thing. When now on the 30-minute though, long wick to the downside, tapped into a 15-minute resistance, and it's just popped straight up. So that was your gold entry.
Yeah.
Oh, again, I'm knowing it. Emil, still looking at finding a particular strategy that works and is easy to implement when beginning. Do you have any recommendations, mainly for confluences to look out for before executing? Recommendations? Look, I think best way is just to honestly to watch streams. I always going to recommend my stream. Look, as far as confluences, just go through the different time frames. Ask yourself, what's happened? Where are we within the daily candle? What's happened within the daily candle? Obviously, formed a low, formed a high. What does it look like either side of that low and that high? Have we got clean traffic to the upside? Have we got clean traffic to the downside? Do we have a high, low, high, high? Counter probabilities on that higher time frame. Once again, daily time frame and the 4-hour, even the weekly. Just going through all the different time frames and just gathering as much different confluences as you can, in starting with the structure, then onto counter probabilities, and then obviously where are we within the chart? Are we close to a support? If we are, we'll be looking for a buy. What type of confluences you want to look for? Bullish engulfing candles, long liquidity wick candles, so wick maybe into the range below, only to close above. There are plenty, my friend. I mean, I'd be here forever if I was to go through them all. That's why I created my course, to be honest, man. But there is heaps, and I give many options. But yeah, the best thing to do is create a plan where you want to get involved. That's what I say. And then just wait. Ask yourself, what do you want to see to be comfortable to take that trade when price gets to that level? So I wasn't quite comfortable with this because, first of all, I hadn't actually pulled back to that 4-hour resistance. Second of all, no upper wick. And also, we're just below that 5-minute resistance also. So, yeah. Doubt the volume at this time as well, personally. Being gold and pre-London on a Monday.
I was going to comment about the question as well.
Go for it, man. You're more than welcome.
If you want a perfect strategy, you need to have a plan in front of you.
Yep.
Like Justin just the main plans should be about how many trades you're going to take per day, what loss size are you going to use, and
Agreed.
when are you going to do your trades. Because if you look at, for example, Monday and Fridays are kind of like the worst days to trade, just because the beginning of the week of the market, it gets really slow and there's not much like volume or news that will come around until like the middays of the week.
Yep.
And Friday, it gets really like either volatile or it gets really slow and quiet, depending on the news, and depends on what's the biggest news that's going to be out this week. Now, we just had NFP on Friday, and that was a really volatile week. This week is likely to be a very, it depends on the day, but I think it's going to be like a mixture. It's going to be quiet and it's going to be volatile. Just, it depends on the days that you can trade. When you hit your target, don't trade afterwards, because what you're going to do is you're going to have your mind wanting you to take more trades, and that's the greed coming into your mind as well.
Very true.
And when you get those type of emotions, you actually want to try your best to avoid them as much as you can, because the more you avoid them, the more you're going to focus on your emotions, and the more maturity you're going to have in your trading system, in your plan, as you become a trader.
Yep.
Like, for example, I've been trading for roughly 5 to 6 years. I have not been perfect. I don't think anyone's been perfect.
No, there is no. I don't think there is such a thing.
No. And you know, it takes time for beginners to have like a plan, overcome their emotions, and to have the perfect lot sizes and entries, and you know, the formations of when to enter, when not to enter. You know, do people trade during news? Do people not trade during news? You know, you have these type of things as well. Like, I'm a hit or miss type of guy. You know, I sometimes trade news if the trading plan is acceptable. If, like, for example, if it's NFP, I stay away from it, because you are going to likely lose that account very quickly. And
Quick smart.
You had something about it last week about how you can just literally lose your account very quickly, and what you don't want to do is get into that very particular bad pattern where you're going to keep losing your account time and time again, just because you're going to go for the biggest news sessions like CPI or PPI or
you get too tempted. Greed.
They are more like a gambling news sessions, and a lot of people tend to do that, and it's really unfortunate when a lot of retail traders struggle big time.
Emotion's a massive thing with retail traders. It's all, a lot of it is to do with the greed. A lot of it's to do because they follow the wrong people as well, and they get the wrong idea about Forex. It's a job, it's a business. Yeah, it's uncapped, you can make good money, but the reality is the average trader is struggling along, and they're not making massive money too, because they just don't have the finances. Some through prop firms, but we all know the deal with those as well. They can disappear quite quickly.
1.1, they're going as well, and you know, more people are likely to be switching up to live accounts again.
Exactly.
But someone has told me this before. You have to make this as a business account, and you have to stick it as a business. You know, there's gonna be days where you are gonna lose money.
Exactly. Expenses.
Make money. You know, of course. So you want to treat it as a business. If you don't treat it as a business and you treat it more as a gambling account, my days, you are gonna struggle.
Yeah, exactly. If that's the case, you best just trade the news and accept it, like being at a casino. You're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. But I think that's well said. But yeah, definitely. So yeah, as Josh said, have a plan, not just for today, but I mean, not for just that session, but have an overall plan. You know, prior to you come to your day of training, what are you gonna be looking for? Is it what pairs, what time, how many trades, what you're willing to risk off a day? Have all that. It sounds tedious, but you need to know roughly what you're gonna risk and things like that, and how you're gonna analyze your chart. You're gonna start the weekly, daily, whatever. That's what you need to know. You need to go through all that stuff. Be prepared prior to your session. Good morning to you, James. You see you popped up on screen.
Morning, champ. How you doing?
All good, brother. It's slightly risky, I would say. It wasn't that comfortable in a gold entry. But purely because for the fact that it hasn't popped down to the 4-hour level and it had no upper wick. But did have 15-minute engulfing, so that was something I was contemplating, and he had a bit of 5-minute resistance. That was another cross that I couldn't tick off. Closed just below it. So being a Monday.
So you didn't take it?
Nah, being a Monday.
Yeah.
But because my original analysis was to wait for it to tap into this 4-hour level.
Yeah.
Seeing we've not actually done so. So, yep, never mind. That's all good.
I didn't take it, but I wasn't too sure that it was actually going to implode during nation.
Yeah.
So I was quite surprised.
Yeah, it just literally popped up about 25 pips in a minute.
Yeah.
Popped up and then straight back. Goal being goal. I'm just gonna call you Miracle. Good morning, sir. Gold buy or sell. Moment, it's nothing in my opinion. I'm waiting for it to come back down to this 4-hour previous resistance to see what happens at that level. If it starts to form a bit of support above it, only to reject and pop below it, then I can see potential sells back below this 4-hour resistance on them. Potential for a deeper pullback. Doesn't mean we're flipping structure bearish. It's in a overall big uptrend. Could be just grabbing some more liquidity for the weekly. It's in a weekly. Could still, I feel, pull back a little bit more before it forms the support head back up. Doesn't necessarily have to. However, as for buys, it's becoming a little bit choppy. The more data we print within its current level, the more difficult it is to trade. You're looking at that, it's just consolidation. So if that's the case, then likely the cleaner buy options will probably come above the resistance now formed near the current daily candle high. So you'd be looking at buys above the high basically on continuation. Just at the moment, need to wait. GJ, however, will it provide? Let's see, just over 9 minutes. Not taking any impulse entry. To me, that is absolutely reckless for a few reasons. Coming from the middle of this consolidation, it's coming against a bearish candle closed bearish. It's yet to break. Obviously I want it to break the high of the current daily before I'm looking to buy it, so I want it to break at closure above, tap in, continuation. Now had this come from, just say within this blue zone, so if we had a closure, or let's just say just below it, and not like that, but like this, starts to break above, that's when I can maybe go down to the 1 minute and just see what we've got. Have we pulled back to tap into this previous level? Have we formed support above it? And then maybe a delayed breakout if that was to be the case. Maybe, but none of that is valid, so time being, do what I do best, just wait patiently. That's so used to doing it. And to be honest, most of the guys that I coach come to me because they've all got the exact same habits at the start. They just cannot control emotions, they cannot follow rules, and they struggle with overtrading, things like that, feeling like they have to be involved every session multiple times, not even just once but multiple times. And I definitely straighten them out with that because I really am very disciplined.
It's the fear of missing out. That's the emotion issue when it comes to people sometimes.
It's often.
It's when people see something that is like imploded, like gold's going all-time highs, for example. They want to join in and get something out of it because they think it's going to keep going higher.
Yep.
But once it goes up, sometimes it comes back down, and you know, it's doing a pullback. Like I can already see it's a pullback. It's just a moment of time when is it going to be switching or flipping to go back high.
Yeah, you never know.
Because again, just mentioning to you earlier, it's already reached all-time highs again, and this is Monday.
Yeah.
We've got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday remaining for this week, and it's only Monday. You know, it could happen like maybe Thursday. I think it was like all-time high again. Then Friday was all-time high. Now
Yeah,
it's just
it's
all-time
pretty
high.
much every day. It's literally nearly every day. I actually, first time I come to the charts, I see gold's made a new all-time high. It's just a common occurrence these days. It's sort of to be expected, but having said that, a lot of traders are anticipating a pullback and they're waiting to sell the crap out of it, but there is no confirmation to do so. Like I always mention, as long as it continues to form a support, like you're looking through the time frames, starting daily, 30-minute, 4-hour and 30-minute, even the hourly if you want. I just look to the left to see where price needs to or could potentially pull back to grab a bit more liquidity, and that they are my potential buy zones. The only time I'll consider selling it is once those levels are broken in anticipation is going to pull back to potentially the next level. So for instance here, these zones I got marked in, this gray zone to that gray zone. But again, it could be a short-lived pullback. We're in an uptrend. I think last week gold did something similar, broke a minor support that I marked. It just melted, I remember, impulsively. There was no real solid entry. And it literally just popped down about 20 pips and then formed support, pop, ended up breaking its all-time high yet again. So that's something that it does it's in an overall uptrend. It could form support anyway. It could literally pop down 10 pips into the range below, form a support, head back up. Whilst it's in an uptrend, you really have to be careful trying to counter trade it.
Yeah, that's the only thing you've got to be careful with. If you try to counter trade, and if it goes the wrong direction, especially if you've got the wrong lot sizes, as I mentioned earlier about making sure you've got the perfect lot size when you're trading, just to protect your account, it's really important as well.
Correct. A lot of people still not sure how to best go about that as well. I always recommend using an EA tool. It's just a lot quicker and easier. I use magic keys. I love it. I actually got the on-screen version of it too, but I've got the hardware tool, the little kit, the little calculator.
Yeah, it looks really handy, you know.
Yeah, I love it, man, because I just place my stop loss, where I want to TP, and if it's a pending order, place the pending order line, open trade, wait for it to hit, and that's it. Does all the calculations according to what my parameters are set at. So whether that be certain lot size that I trade per trade or take per trade, or if it's percent of the account. Just depends. I actually swap and change a fair bit. Right now I'm trading lot sizes, just standard lot size, straight yeah, same lot size per trade.
Yeah, as long as you've got the right lot size for you or for anyone that's trading, then that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, what your account can accept and what you're comfortable with as well.
Yeah, that as well. Yeah.
How's the weekend, James? Don those budgie smugglers or what? Enjoy the sunshine.
It actually was it was disappointing in the end. Cold and windy, same old UK.
Oh really?
Yeah,
so, yeah, that's how it was here too. Oh, okay, so no puppies and speedos.
Yeah, unfortunately not. The whole plan went to pot.
Oh mate, there's always something, isn't there?
How was yours?
Yeah, fine, man. Just busy, as always. So,
Working hard?
yeah, helping as you do, pull your weight when you're here, helping the family and all that. So it's alright, I don't mind it. But yeah, so gotta help the old lady. So just out of respect. GJ, similar to what GU on just recently on this particular candle, pull all the way back up to a resistance form within it, within the current daily candle, only to reject. And our GJ is doing likewise. Again, my concern about GJ is we have this level to the left, which, depending on what provider you're looking at, what broker, it's a resistance on the flyer. So I kind of want it to pop below that, start to pop below it.
I also wouldn't mind buying it from this zone, personally.
Yeah, the only thing is these wicks make it disgusting.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Make it really difficult. We could reject at any point. I mean, that's obviously a bearish candle wick. We're rejecting it again. So 15 is not going to look pretty. Yeah, it looks like a mess.
I think it depends on the next minute because London opens in the next minute. So it
could push us out of this. Yeah, out of this mess. Luckily, you remind me. Didn't realize. Put up by the times, to be honest, because our clocks finally went backwards on the weekend.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so you're much better for trading, aren't you?
Yeah. Finish up early. I can actually look at NY if I choose to. So it'll be more friendly for once I get the group up and running.
Just depends if there's any news or anything like that during London session. Not London.
NY
Sessions.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's none for a couple of days anyway. All right, so we got London open. DJ's grabbed liquidity from the upside. This could just melt, but where's it going to pop down to? In no way would I be interested in selling that. Nor am I interested in buying it, because to me it's not quite at a... I'd rather it be further down. I'd rather it pop down to at least that level on that. I'm going to change that to grey, to a 4-hour zone. If it flips, there's a good chance it will continue up. But it's just within a choppy mess. This is just within consolidation.
Have you got a prediction on Bitcoin or anything like that, Justin?
Projection, not particularly. What's the all-time highs?
I think it's like
74, 73.80.
All-time highs is coming up to 74k.
Yeah, just under.
Yeah.
Thing is, as long as it's above 60k, it's still in a pretty solid uptrend.
Yeah, I mean it's supposed to be halving. The halving is supposed to be coming soon. For Bitcoin. So it'll be interesting to see if price actually starts flying just because of the halving season coming up.
Yeah, it could. And it could be one of those buy the rumor, sell the news.
Yeah.
So people may be getting FOMO, thinking they're going to miss out, they don't start buying. And then the whales are just going to dump it so they can buy back in at, whatever price they want to, as they always do.
I think that is going to be the case, though.
That's generally how it works, and it's a lot more easily manipulated in crypto, because you got a certain amount of guys who hold a big percent of Bitcoin wallets and that. So I'm sure they're in conversation with one another as to what they want to do when they want to sell it off. And
I'm pretty much a holder.
Yeah, I would be had I had any.
I've purchased Bitcoin from 53k so it's not too bad.
Yeah, I'll just be watching at 60 level.
Oh yeah.
If that breaks, then it could be in for a deeper pullback. So let's see on GJ. Let's see if it pulls back to this 60. We're around that 60 level, 620, 630. If it gives us an option to potentially buy it. Gold looks like it may come back down now to that 4-hour level.
Potentially could.
GU coming back down, but yeah, so I mean, Franco, if you are looking at GU, I'd wait and see how this candle closes. If it closes below the new support form just below the option, and I would not have, that sell limit wouldn't have been valid, by the way, guys, because it closed way too close to that zone. So even on GU, that's too close. I did mention before, a couple pip below is probably enough, but this is like 0.8, not even a pip. So that would have definitely wouldn't have ticked the box. Yeah, so that's what I'd be looking at. Close below that level there, and it could likely come back down. GJ is still shit house. It's all good. It's only Monday. You're not trading today, are you, James?
I wait, and unless it's like perfect, like the GJ buys above, I'll take.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But I wouldn't bother with the sells.
Yeah. Yeah, it is in an uptrend, so best to trade with the trend if you can.
Those buys above are just that kind of perfect trade thing. If a 30-minute closes above there, and taps back in, then yeah, everything else is.
Yeah, it's not much else, is there? Franco, GU not no rush right now. I agree. These are very small ranges. The margin within them, oof. This one's like 10 pips. Yeah, you're struggling for 10 pips even within that. But again, I'm of the opinion, as long as you can get your 1-to-1 on, if it's not your 10, whether it be 10, 15, 20, whatever you usually target for your first TP. On GU, you get a 1-to-1 at 8 pips, then why not secure at 8? There is no written law that you have to secure at whatever level. It's up to you, to be honest. GU melting now with momentum volume. It's GJ, could it now be tapping that? This is good. This is what we want to see, and we want gold to do similar, and then we could have some options.
I can see that there's some news on Wednesday.
Yep,
for
CPI.
and
Yep, that's gonna be a big one.
So I think this is going to be the build up for Monday and Tuesday. Obviously, we're going to have some like volatility and wise, but I think people need to be ready for it just in case, because this might be the biggest one that we're going to have of the news wise.
Yeah.
Of the week.
GDP on Friday for pound. Unfortunately, I'll be starting the stream after that, to be honest, on Friday. By the time I get in. Interesting, I made a thumbnail for it and all. Doesn't matter, I'll still use it. Yeah, there's a lot of news from Wednesday on especially with the US dollar as well. We've got Wednesday and Thursday. CPI Wednesday, Thursday, PPI. So definitely going to have impact. Yeah, could it just, you know, fill itself out for the time being? Perhaps. Still anticipate some moves in between.
Sometimes it's like a good indication, because if you want to give it a couple of days, you get some sort of prediction what you're going to be seeing for the rest of the week. Sometimes that can help with the plan.
Alright, this is good. JJ's tapped in. Let's see how we react to it. So again, this is a 4-hour level, so if this candle closes pretty much where we're at, or even a little bit higher up, leaving a bit of a wick to the downside, if new candle opens and just drops to create slow wick, may consider a cheeky sell based on the fact that the level we're at, sorry, buy, not sell, buy. We're in an uptrend, we're at a level of liquidity to the left hand side. We just popped down, we're likely going to pull back up to create up a wick. We even did it within this candle, we popped down about 5 or so pips and then just shot straight up, create a small upper wick. That's when it gets to break even. This could be the level that we need to actually pull back down to grab that liquidity before we are to continue bullish again. So I would consider that, but I need to wait 20 minutes for that to be valid. And this is the new style, the new entry. So we'll see. Good to see I got more likes than viewers again. So that's how I'm going to start promoting the stream. The only live stream that gets more likes than views. I'm happy with that. I'll take it. Actually, I got a fair few views. The last stream, thanks to our mate Silent, that told me to put the pairs in the actual title. Got a lot more views than I usually get. So
how many did you end up on?
250 something in the end. And most of the others were, I mean, some of them were around 70, 80. I had one about 130. One at right on 200. But yeah, that was by far and away most.
So is that different viewers on the stream at any?
Someone? Oh no, just who've watched it or whatever at some point.
Okay.
So concurrent viewers is, I think I had 24 before on this current.
Yeah,
trend.
yeah. So the 200 is just yeah, total number of different IPs which have watched.
Yeah, exactly. If logged on or whatever to see what's going on. Probably watch like 2 minutes of it and just hit that X button.
Still good though.
It still helps though. So not gonna complain.
Want to see.
Exactly. Alright, GJ. You cut out before Josh, did you?
Yeah, I was just I paused the video. I just had to get some preparation and stuff. I don't like leaving like the video completely like the person that's disappeared or something for 5 minutes.
That's all good.
Like the blank, you know.
Complain. What can I do, GJ? It's starting to flip again. Right back in this consolidation.
If you go to a lower time frame, like I don't know, 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm looking at the 5, but even that, there is really nothing. I mean, on that, I want to see a bit of a structure form.
I mean,
don't even have that.
It's got no bottom wick on that 5-minute candle. Sometimes it has that indication that it is going to flip, but we're still kind of like shy early of the London Open as it is. So maybe give it like another couple of minutes before the new 15-minute comes in.
Yeah, it is a very, very tricky area though. When you're looking on the 15 M30, it's just shit. I mean, M15 is just consolidation. The M15 looks okay if it broke the high again, but within this 30-minute candle, you're asking for it to do a fair bit. If you ask to get your 10, you don't even have 10 until that zone. It's a tricky one. It's in a really shitty area. It's in a really shitty area, to be honest. Tommy Jordan, good morning to you, my friend. How are you, brother? Gold flipping again. Oof. Yeah, I'm gonna be stubborn with it. It either has to come to the 4-hour level or it has to pop above. That's just my plan. Or reject the current daily candle side. That's the other thing that I failed to mention. So it would have to be perfect, but if we formed a support once again back at these highs, only to reject, start to pop a lot, expecting the current daily candle side, that could perhaps be the high of the day. And who knows, could maybe be the high of the week, we don't know. It's doubtful. It's really doubtful when it's in a strong uptrend. I wouldn't be predicting that. But that could be just my area. I'd consider a sell. I just need for my catalyst to appear within price action. And just trade the range.
What's GU doing at the moment, Justin?
Sorry, say again.
I said, what's GU doing at the moment?
GJ is about to flip. Not a great deal. So broke that support and it's popping back up. So sort of everything's just in a feeling sort of phase at the moment. It's not really got any clear direction. We're just popping straight back into consolidation. Every time we look like we're about to break anything on any pair, it just pops straight back into the same level. GJ. All right, so again, this is what I want to see, and this is why I want it to happen on gold too. I did mention when I was doing my analysis, I really prefer for it to tap into this 4-hour before I'm to contemplate buying it from lower down. And even now that we've tapped in, I feel more comfortable buying it from above because we've retested that 4-hour level finally. We've grabbed liquidity from it, we're bouncing off it. We don't have the margin within this level, and it's choppy. It's a disaster on the 15 as well. But above it, we've got clean traffic. We are trending upwards. We're in a bull trend, a bullish structure. We again daily high, low, higher, high as well. So we do have enough catalysts, enough confluences. Now just will it pop above, and if it does, that is where I feel we're going to get our options. And I feel that impulse entry could be more valid now as well. Doesn't mean I just place a buy stop at the high, because he still needs to see how it approaches. But if we approach with a fair bit of volume and momentum, we are near it before we break. As far as the candle prior to it closes near it, we could potentially look for an impulse entry.
Yeah, I like that wick to the downside.
Yeah, so do I. So do I.
Remember when I said just a moment ago, if you look at the 5 minutes, it had that no wick on that first, like the 5 minutes before. Now it's got the same.
It's no pretty much the same thing in this one.
So you could have put an entry in it, but it would have to be like a little feeler. It didn't have to be like a big trade. But if you was on a small trade on that, you're looking looking in a very nice profit at the moment.
Yeah, it's
even
just
if it's like a, you know.
Yeah, it's just difficult with the lack of margin, to be honest. Yeah, as it flipped, that potentially, but still, just not my cup of tea, to be honest. I'd rather it, at least it's done what I wanted to do, and now could be more comfortable looking for the option above, especially. A lot more comfortable. Ooh. Gotta quickly do something before I forget. I'll be back in just 2 seconds, guys. Alrighty guys, I'm back. That's to take tonight's dinner out of the fridge. Oh, I forgot the salmon. Make sure it's at room temperature before it goes on the pan, otherwise it's not the same. Doesn't cook properly. Not just a Forex trader, also MasterChef.
Not just a trading channel, we're getting culinary tips as well.
Mate, 100%. I love my cooking. I love it, man.
I didn't know that.
It's not just I like to well, not really marinate. I just like to spread some garlic over it too, just to add a little bit more flavor to it.
Even before you cook it?
Yeah, before I cook it. The trick is the corn flour on the skin. That makes the skin crispy.
But I'm learning a lot this morning.
That's it. Learning about trading, learning about cooking. I don't know which one is probably more interesting. Probably the cooking at the moment, because the trading doesn't look the best. But it's all about has to be at room temperature. You got to put a little bit of corn flour on the skin because they'll make it really nice and crispy.
Man, I'm going to try that tonight.
A lot of salt. Himalayan, of course. So Celtic is best, but it's hard to get. Yeah, a little bit of lemon juice, just a squeeze, just a tad. And you know what my secret is? I'll share it with you guys. Dijon mustard. Honestly, you put talking about like actually spreading some on it before you cook it. I cut like a little, just little cuts in, like 2 cuts in each fillet. And I rub the garlic in and some Dijon mustard, and obviously salt it really well. It is unreal. Oof. Cook it.
You really know how to live, don't you?
I do, mate. I love my food. Oh,
guy is properly living.
You gotta, mate. You gotta enjoy things. So, me, it's the food, but yeah, and I don't cook it too much too. I cook it 5 minutes, skin down, makes it really nice and crispy, and then literally for like maybe 30 seconds. The other side, not even, because I have the lid over the top of it, so it's sort of, you know, starts to seal it on the other side while it's skin on the pan. It's good.
I'm actually genuinely going to try that tonight. That sounds so good.
It's fantastic, man. It is the best. It's the bomb.
I would normally cook the chicken with like spices and like chili and stuff as well. That's always like a good filler, like Xauusd chicken and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, chicken's good, but you got to make it good, because otherwise it's very bland and can be very dry. But
I hate it plain. It's got to be flavor in it. It has to, otherwise it's not going to be very edible for me.
Yeah, it's often very plain. Franco, you're in a GU cell based on M15. Okay, so you sold it, I'm assuming, as it flipped. You got a closure below. I don't like this wick though. It's a tough one. Wonder where did you sell it? Is it flipped, or is it pulled back into above that support? And GJ has absolutely no idea what it wants to do. And nor does gold, for that matter. Gold is in every direction at the moment. Right back in the open. When flipped back to support area. Oh, okay. So you're looking alright. Your stop loss, I'm assuming, is above the entry candle. More or less sell limit. Yes, it's kind of. But your market executed, I'm assuming. Well, you're looking good, man. again, London opens just a bit all over the shop at the moment. Mr. Ben Chamberlain, brother. Big weekend for you. How are you? Good to see you in the chat. It means that's a positive. It means he survived. So that's the main thing. Yeah, all good, man. All good. Just watching the charts. Not really giving much as per the usual. How about you, man? Knackered, but mostly sorted. Nice one. Good to hear it. Sean, all good, man. Not a problem. Thank you, as always, for joining. I appreciate it. Same on London session moment. Appears to be the case. It's just nasty. It's definitely no confirmation type of entries. I mean, this was the best one, gold, but kind of put off by not week. The fact that hasn't popped down to the 4 hour level, tapped into this 15-minute level, but not the 4 hour. So, up to the analysis at start of stream, waiting for that level to be tapped into to trust buys from lower down, otherwise on continuation or even sells back at below the resistance. Back below this level. DJ just needs to clear this mess at the moment.
The movement actually did happen like very well before the London session, like pre-London. I think that was kind of like the right move, and now we're just in a very choppy.
Yeah, now it's just
London session.
Yeah, just typical London. Typical London where it's just doing absolute shit. Look at you. Wow. Maybe I shouldn't. Exact same shit. What else is there? GA, you used to trade this pair, didn't you, James? I remember. Back in the day.
Yeah, I used to love GA.
I used to trade a bit, but it's volatile, that's for sure. Used to kind of move similar to gold where it just skip 2-3 pips at a time. Which at the time was upward to me, but yeah.
Yeah. There was the reason I didn't like it so much, it was you couldn't really TP or kind of even take some off the table at 10, 11 pips every time because your stop was always
huge.
Massive,
yeah. Yeah, that is true.
Didn't feel quite right, yeah.
That is true. These candles have quite a fair bit of volume. Let's just see this one candle. 40, that's 50 pips. Oh, that's a 4 hour candle. There we go. That explains it. But true, a lot of time they do. A lot of time they have fair. I mean, that's 16, that's not too much, but when this thing trends, it's got massive candles.
Also, I suppose I don't like the fact that it's kind of two of those risky-ish currencies.
GA and GJ?
Just pound and Aussie.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry.
Not having one of the dollar or yen in there feels.
Yeah, one is sort of
probably totally psychological. I'm sure it moves exactly the same as everything else, but
yeah, it probably. I mean, maybe a pair will look at it a bit more because it might give some more options. If I was to look at just now, I want to see a closure below probably that point there.
Yeah, I think if I were going to add another one, I'd add EJ before I added GA, personally.
Yeah. Like GJ's little brother.
And I prefer the numbers on the yen pairs as well.
Yeah, so do I. It's not as many.
And that's
that's true. Okay, we had a break even now. I think it's a good idea to manage it strictly because it's an impulsive entry. It's not the cleanest area. So I think you do well. Yeah, well, we should have a vote. See what should we analyze? Start to analyze a bit more. I mean, already analyzed 4 so pairs, but we add maybe EJ to the tradable list. I mean, it's gonna look similar to GJ.
I always think it depends on what kind of person you are. If you're a person who finds it pretty easy to be disciplined and not jump into trades, then you can really add as many pairs, almost as many pairs as you like.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're not that person yet, you're better off sticking.
Just in 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I think EJ looks really good today, actually.
Yeah.
Highs above the high upon continuation. You got clean traffic to the left. You form support up near the daily high. If you close below it, you got clean traffic to the left. Sells below 164.40. Buys above 164.550. Buys above 164.20 and sells below 164.18 roughly. Support formed at current daily candles low, which lines up with support formed on Friday. EJ looks really good.
That's what you want to see when you come to the charts.
Yeah, something like this.
A trend, consolidation, and then clean ranges either side.
That's it, because you simply know you're just waiting for either to close below, maybe break, preferably close, and same to the upside. But seeing it's bullish in the M30 and you're probably bullish similar to GJ, you probably got daily counter probabilities aside you do. So it makes the impulse entries more valid than to the upside than what it does to the downside, in my opinion. On continuation. Alright, so that's the 30-minute close it is, and we're right in the middle again on GJ, so fortunately it means there's nothing for me. Gold, what have we done? Right when we opened at London.
It's been fighting around 23.35 for the past couple of minutes. There's definitely something going on over there with that price action.
Yep, there's not giving us any clear direction, that's for sure.
Oof.
Might set alert for EJ.
I'm literally watching it at the 1 minute time frame of gold, and it's like it's pull and tugs and everything. Crazy.
Yeah, so in 1 minute you can easily get you confused though, because it will provide a lot more opportunities.
Yeah, it can.
But
that's why people. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, for me, the only time I really look to it is once we're leaving a range into a new range, just to see if we've retested. I'm looking for that sort of delayed impulse entry.
Yeah. I was just going to comment that if you're not an experienced trader, just stay away from 1 minute time frame. You're just going to fry.
Stay away from the 5 minute as well, for that matter, to be honest.
And that, yeah.
All trying to come down, just please pull back to that level and keep feeling better about things. Been honestly, since I started streaming, the charts have been rank, really rank.
This is why I don't normally trade London. I'm normally asleep, but
yeah, well, the lady that I speak about a lot with my coach,
yeah,
she's been up often at London to see what's going on. She doesn't understand how we trade it. She said just the volume is nothing compared to what she has with MY around NYSE open. But obviously she trained NAS, so it's going to move more so during that session.
Yeah.
But gold as well. Gold moves more, tends to move more anyway. NY.
It does.
And she doesn't trade any other. Yeah, doesn't trade GJ or anything like that. Just obviously the index, NAS, and gold.
Literally rejected from the 23.34 area. Literally on that price action, and it just flipped back up. Oof.
Yeah, it's a stubborn level.
very strong psychological area by the looks of it.
Yeah, you're also looking at round numbers. So, I mean, that 4-hour resistance lines up with that round number, 2330.
Yeah, it looks like it is a new psychological number, but for the last couple of weeks, it just flipped from the 34 area.
Yep. Thank you to that person who subbed and to the one who subbed earlier. And to this one. While you're all at it.
Yeah.
That's the way to grow the channel, guys. I appreciate you. We'll get there. I mean, a lot of you know me from a previous stream. So I've started from scratch on my own. So it's going to take time. But eventually get there. And the best way to get there is to obviously like and watch the content. And yeah, join the live streams. Once again, you guys will be repaid because I'll be opening up Discord at some point shortly. And yeah, I'll do private, occasionally private MI session. Will be streamed on YouTube. Yeah, with things there'll be a lot to come. F15 is just disgusting.
I guess GJ is going to be out of cards for today. It looks like it's just going to be ranging.
Yeah, at this stage, it's literally stuck since the push from this morning at Japanese Open, I think it is.
Yeah, Asian. Yeah.
Tokyo Open. I think it's changed to 10 AM these days for me. It was prior to it. Sorry, it was after it. Now after it. That's generally what happens with what I find during the Asian session. It's always that hour or so after it where you'll get the move. You don't tend to get it at the Open, for whatever reason. So yeah, doesn't mean it's an easy entry of any sort, but that's when it's made the move. And since then, it's just been an absolute mess. It's lunchtime my time.
Sometimes it happens in Tokyo session, but not all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I like to trade Asian, but just whether I can be on the chart for it. It's not that I don't trust the volume. I definitely trust it. As long as you plan and you got the plan, you know exactly where you want to get involved in a trade, and price is at that level, and you can ask yourself what you want to see, and if that is met, criteria is met. Doesn't really matter what session's in. You just want it to be roughly a high time volume, like within an hour or so, or maybe a couple hours of a session open, or I mean after it, or if it's prior to it, maybe no more than an hour prior to it, something like that, because you know you're going to have some liquidity around. So that's what I prefer to do. But I mean, if everything's met, there's no reason why you should not take the trade. Because you do see some nice moves happen. Obviously, when I jump off and make my dinner, you see some nice moves happen. Unfortunately, I'm the one who's not in it most of the time. But I'll be enjoying my salmon nonetheless, so I'm not too concerned. It's worth missing out on a trade. Trust me, it's that good.
I was just about to say patience pays off at the end of the day. You just gotta wait.
Exactly.
No, you got it right.
100%. Oh, GJ, let's go. Move. Now, I don't want to break within this candle because we still come from consolidation.
Oh, Bitcoin's pushing. Oh,
it is too. Shit.
Oof. It's going above 70k. That's nice.
Wow. Yeah, if it closes above that 71.60 on the 4 hour, gonna retest all-time highs. I get the feeling.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Is that white line all-time highs on Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your horizontal rate?
Yeah, 73.80. So I feel the focus is definitely going to be on GJ because gold is just at a shithouse level right now. It's really, really choppy. We just need GJ to try to make the move now. If it begins to break, there could be options. Jex, there could be options as well. So we just need to wait patiently for the next 20 minutes and see where we're at. There's every chance we'll be right back in the middle though. If GJ is going to do what it's done the last few weeks, but yeah, we'll see. I don't like massage parlor music, this background music. I don't know if it's good or not. Puts you to sleep or if it makes you focus more. No idea yet. Can't work it out. I think it puts the charts to sleep during London session anyway.
I know for a fact London session is putting me to sleep.
Yeah, it's that can put you to sleep of late.
Oh, yeah.
Franco, it's okay. I don't mind it, to be honest. Really don't mind it.
No.
It's a break from the usual. Oh, EJ. Alright, so EJ's trying. So once again, EJ is taps into support form within the current daily candle, so it's a level of liquidity, lines up with previous data to the left. If it breaks its own high, it's likely to continue, but it's just where it's come from. So for me, impulse entries are very risky at the moment because it's rejected once at this point during the current daily candle, lines up with this to the left hand side as well. So I would prefer closures above at this point, considering where it's come from. Oh, that's wrong. It's not. Let's measure anyway. It's got to travel just to tag you into a trade because you're gonna have your entry at least a pip or so above the high to account for spread. So you're looking at about 14 pips roughly for it to travel, and then you anticipate it's going to travel at least another 10 or so because you're gonna have a wide stop loss. Well, EJ, it's a little bit wider. It's going to be about 15 pip stop loss roughly. So you need to obviously you'd be seeing what you got to the left. You've got enough margin by the looks of it, but will it push? Will it give you that? Thank you for the sub. Within this candle, do you trust that it's going to make a move to give you at least another 10 plus pips? I doubt it, so I'd rather see if it can actually break above and close above, and then I trust that sort of entry more. Similar like GJ, it's come from a little bit too far back. I think just need to be patient and wait 17 more minutes and see where we're at. It's rejected this level just recently on this bullish candle. So what will give me the confidence now is that closure back above. However, if this candle closes up near a high and then we begin to break on the following candle, that's when I start to look to maybe the 1 minute time frame. If we're coming from close enough to the resistance, we begin to break, got that lower wick. That's when I go down to the 1 minute and I see what we've got. Have we got a bit of a pullback? Support formed on the 1 minute. I'm going to draw up, you guys get the picture. We get similar, look a bit like this in the 1 minute. So we've got the closure above, tap in, bit of support. We start to pop back above, and it could be like a delayed breakout entry. That is what I'm sussing at the moment, if this candle doesn't close above. And if it closes, again, close enough to the resistance. The other thing I'm contemplating is, once again, if we close up near it, and we just pop straight up into this level, issue with that entry that the entry I've been using a lot of late, which I did the video on 2 weeks ago. Again, if you haven't watched it, definitely worth the watch. You'll learn something. The issue with it this time is stop loss placement. There is just no data to the left to safely place a stop loss. I'm definitely not going to have it above range high up here, some 40 pips away. So we'll see. Looking for, at this stage, probably some potential buys. Gold is just same shit. So yeah, definitely focusing on GJ, guys. Just leave it on GJ for now. So tomorrow I'll be on roughly about, I'll probably jump on straight away when I get in. So I'll probably be about maybe 20 minutes or so, half an hour after EU Open. So about 30 minutes prior to London. And then Wednesday, Thursday, I'll be same time as today, maybe even 10 minutes earlier. And Friday will be same time as Tuesday. Predicting once again. That's the 15. 15's Krantz Law Wick. So the EJ still looks good. Little look on my broker chart. Yeah, EJ probably looks the best of the bunch, to be honest. Geek News, good morning to you, mate. Hope you're well. Hope you had a good weekend. Good, nice one. Yeah, EJ looks really good. So I'd be patiently waiting be waiting 13 minutes now to see. Really, because where it's come from. Too far down, in my opinion, to trust it. Did trade EJ a couple years back.
Yeah, we used to trade it, didn't we?
Yeah, regularly. It was EJ and GJ were the main pairs, I think. I don't think we traded gold all that much other than 2020 when Trump was doing fantastic things for us. Those were today's. Are you keen on EJ, James? Are you considering it, or are you not gonna jump in on EJ for the time being? You're on mute, man.
Purely psychological. I just like getting to the end of the week and having done everything I said I would do.
Oh yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? Even if you take a win on a trade, it's a slight thing in the back of your mind. Actually, is that sustainable? If I do that every week for a year and swap kind of change pairs like that. Look, well,
yeah, exactly. You're gonna get rolled a lot of the time. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But it is paired to maybe put on a, again, well, I got the watch list either way, but paired to maybe keep more of an eye on. See how it goes.
I also think every time you watch a move happen and you aren't in it, that has to be good for your ability to deal with FOMO.
Yeah, correct, 100%.
Practice, isn't it?
Yep, and not feel any emotion.
Yeah, exactly. And not think, oh, I wish I was in there.
Yep. That's the thing. I get a lot of messages I get from guys, and not the guys that I coach, because most of them are now the same as me. They don't feel the FOMO, but just guys that might approach me on IG or whatever, Telegram before. It's like, oh man, it's getting gold. Oh man, I missed the move. Oh shit. And it's like, well, you missed it. There's no point harping on about it. And you just got to reanalyze. How can you maybe get involved once again? But once it's missed, that's it. You just got to accept it and move on. Reanalyze, reassess, and go about your day, whatever. Come back again.
It's also funny because you probably wouldn't feel like that if you missed the move when you're away from the charts. If you're not looking at charts and you come back and you see it's moved,
Well,
there might be some, but it's not the same amount of FOMO. It's kind of like, oh, great.
Yeah, gold's on its merry way again. We woke up and it's like it's been every morning. It's created an all-time high, a new high, and it's just nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, and then it's kind of easy to deal with, but it's when you're watching it happen.
The difference is if you analyze that you didn't take it, then that's when you might start to feel emotions and feel bad about yourself, because really you should be executing on your analysis if it ticks the box. Now, I'm not disappointed about gold because, again, my original analysis is to wait for it to pull back to this level before I am considering any buys in the current level. Had I done the analysis and let's just say that was the resistance and tapped into it, then I'd be kicking myself because it ticked the box. No, then it just comes down to fear and emotions. That's the difference. You got to try to trade off your plan and without the emotion, without the guesswork. Like, should I, shouldn't I? It's yes or no. Have your plan, have your criteria, and if it's met, it's simple. You take the trade, you take it, and you accept it, win, lose, or draw. That's trading.
Do you find anyone actually struggles to take the trade that they've analyzed?
Yeah, some of the guys have issues with that, trusting themselves. I definitely had an issue with that, honestly, probably about 2019. A lot of time I analyzed, my analysis is correct, and I just failed to execute. Once it came to it, maybe because at that point I was trading with too much capital, so I probably wasn't feeling comfortable in my lot sizes and all that, and I kicked myself. And then sometimes that led to you know, trying to get involved after the move had happened, and then you literally take a pip or two, get your $30-40 out of it, and you're like, oh, fuck, closing it. Well, I got some money going off to buy tomorrow's lunch or some shit. That's the stupid shit I used to do. And I was wrecked, man. I was disaster. I was stressed. I was killing myself, honestly.
Probably makes you a good person to help others.
Oh man, I've had all experience, blown accounts, everything. You name it, I've done it. So now it's total opposite.
I don't know anybody who's got profitable having not blown an account.
It's hard to find, man. I honestly don't know as well.
I mean, if they say they're a profit, they are going to be lying if they say they haven't blown an account at least once. They must have blown their account at least
likely.
once.
Yeah, I agree with that, yeah.
Yep. There's nothing wrong with admitting it. I mean, Geek News, our friend, mentioned it. Lewis account the other day. Again, I've done it 3 or 4 times years ago.
Yeah, I'm the same. I reckon 3 or 4 times I've done.
Yep. So
and you know what it could be? It's down to ego. It's one of the emotions as well. Like, a lot of people these days will have ego, and sometimes it won't accept it to focus on their ego and their psychological mindset. Like, the more you have a bigger ego, you are going to be jeopardizing yourself in a longer game. Like, this is a long game. This is not supposed to be a short game where you can just match and grab, you know.
Exactly. I was saying to our friend Geek News in the chat the other day, you can't come in thinking you're going to make a fortune instantly if you're a beginner. You're going to go through a lot of hard times. It's just fact. It's not as simple as what social media makes it out to be. Just quickly, you asked the question about EU. Let me see if I can find a different broker, because this one, I don't like that big gap. USD. Let's see if one is better. It is. All right. So EU, looking at the weekly time frame to begin, and obviously it's the previous candle closed back bullish. Does once again, similar to GJ, have a, I think a NAS as well, as a lower low and higher high to the previous candle. So what I would say is if you break above that previous candle's high, likely going to continue to the upside. Going to mark in the current daily candle's low though, just see what we've got below it. So technically, call it weak bullish on the weekly time frame. Looking at the daily, structurally still technically bearish. It's rejected a resistance here to the left. That wick is just really awkward. Long wick to the downside. Jesse may have grabbed liquidity from the downside to push it to the upside. However, you are still at a resistance. Very choppy on that time frame. But technically, structure-wise, bearish. Current candle, lower high, higher low. Not a great deal of volume. 4 hour looks a bit better below that level. It is bullish in structure. So that's the first time frame. Oh, sorry, second. You got weekly as well. That is the upside. I'd be marking this area of resistance. I'd be marking the daily low just because I think it'll be clean below it and you formed a support at it. Maybe adjusting it slightly. No, that's relevant. That remains. Whoops. Oh, man. Oh, what chart was it? I wonder. All right. Similar to GJ, I would say this level is pretty much a write-off. This current range, unless price pulls back up right now, makes a relatively clean move, only to reject, because look how many times price has rejected that level. So something like, you get the picture. We've rejected, so obviously we created resistance there at previous level of support to the left. We've rejected once, twice, 3, 4 times already. So until anything else, so until we start to actually close above, then I would still look for my potential sells below it. So if we pull back to that level and respect it, so really anywhere below that 1.08450 roughly, 460, within this gray zone, basically, I would look for my signs of rejection, my potential sell options to take it back down. Now, buys obviously above the 4 hour resistance, it is definitely into clean traffic above that point there. And I want the catalyst, I want it to close above, I want the 30-minute to close above, tap in, and begin to pull away. Want it to retest to see if it was an actual successful break and closure above, if it is to respect that level, or if it fails and starts to pull back below it, then it may have just been a brief, like a fake out type of move to the upside. So that could provide you sell options. Further sells below the current daily candle's low, the support formed at that level. Once again, daily, we are to continue bullish, we should respect our low. We are to continue bearish, we should respect the high. So you're looking at sells from high up, sells from below to low. You're also going to be looking for potential buys maybe above this zone, but it's very, very choppy at the moment. And you go down to the 15, it is a mess. Same as DJ, GU. I think the buys are going to be difficult within this range. You really need to maybe do this. Volume come in, pop down, pop up, reject. If you can't get in your sell, maybe that's when the buys become more of an option. Once this range opens up, so once you have some clean moves within it, that's when it becomes easier or more probable to find cleaner trades, whether it be from resistance or from support. That is my analysis on EU. Right now, it's not ready for a trade. Franco, maybe we'll give GU a second chance when current and 15 and 30 close below the recent support. Let me quickly look. I think it's, I don't know, I don't like it, to be honest. I don't know if you're gonna have the volume too, to be honest, man. Sorry, the margin. Yeah, I think it's very difficult because it should have made the move. Seeing it's broken its support already and rejected, pop back up. I'm not liking it. I'd rather buy it from either these lows or proper pull back and sell it from the highs at this stage. Because it's right in the middle of this range and there is absolutely no clear direction. Every time it looks like it's gonna actually pop to the downside, it just pulls all the way straight back up. So that's just me personally, brother. EJ, what's EJ doing? And that's why I'd be waiting on EJ for a closure above 10 seconds left. First hour of London session. And it's rejected, so hence why impulse entry is very difficult at the moment when there's just not that volume, especially on a Monday. All good, Franco. Musa. Hello to you, UJ. Let me look at UJ. Oh, okay, so this level is still relevant from last week when I took a look. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've had this level marked in for quite some time. We can look at EJ. It's GJ, there's nothing. It's right back in the middle, guys. All right, so weekly bullish, daily structure wise bullish. We're at a wow. This level. So you obviously be marking the resistance highs that daily resistance and 4-hour resistance. 4 hour is technically also still bullish. Looks like it's bullish across the board. I'd be now just adjusting this a little bit to that support just there. What you've done is you've formed support up near this resistance, the current daily candle. So if we are to continue bullish and retest that level, we should come back down, form a support, and potentially retest the high, potentially create a higher high, start popping above that 152 sort of level. However, if we begin to pop below it, close below it, based off this time frame, there's a high probability we will continue to make a deeper correction to the downside onto the M30 structure. That is also bullish. However, again, it's at resistance. Very choppy price action at resistance. Very difficult right now. What I would be saying is buyers, be patient with it. Wait for buys above the high or on a pullback. Otherwise, for the sell option, I mean, now if it even pulls back a little bit more and forms a minor support within this gray zone, I'd just be looking for closures below that support. Look for a tap in. You're making a relatively clean move just here. You form that support, break that support, you're likely going to make a pullback. And you just got to look to your left for your potential area to target, which at this point would be this point here. So that's roughly 10 pips at the moment. That's what I'd be looking at on UJ, similar to what we got here. See how every time you form a support, then you begin to pop below it. Exact same scenario is what I'd be looking at. Hopefully that makes sense. Back to GJ. Still absolutely nothing. So we got 1 hour left of this 4-hour candle. Nothing on EJ. GJ, sorry. Gold. Again, it hasn't yet. It's yet to pull back to the 4-hour level. So in a very tricky area of consolidation, just no clear price action. Back to this chart GU. There you go, Franco closed back above that support, so would not be trusting GU whatsoever at the moment, to be honest.
I'm gonna bail out and get some sleep.
Yeah, go for it, man. You've done well anyway already, so
yeah,
enjoy your gains and yeah, enjoy your sleep.
I will see you tomorrow.
Cheers, my friend. Thank you for popping on.
No worries. Take
Have
care.
a good one. Cheers, mate. Bye. All right, GJ rejecting once again. So all about patience. Wait, what? Chart's putting me to sleep. Bitcoin's awake. Let's see what this 15-minute closes. We'll decide what the plan is. Is it actually going to make a move this time? It's rejected so many times, so need to wait. Got 49 minutes, just over 49 minutes in this wow candle. Is it going to make it now? Wait and see. Alright, I'm just looking at something now. If this closes, I want it to close above on the 15-minute. Then I might look for a sell limit back at a low in this zone. Pretty much that bearish candle's high. In anticipation, new 15-minute will pull back to create its lower wick. Tag you in. If this is to be the move, seeing we'll create a higher high within the daily candle, if that is to be the case. And it could be the move that I'd be anticipating that we may make. That is the confirmation I want to see. I want to see a closure above the 15, a strong engulfing candle. We've come from this support, so we're making now an impulse to the upside. This could therefore just be a pause, but I'd probably just use the bearish candle to the left hand side there as the entry. Stop loss below low. Pretty tight stop loss, about 8 pips. Yeah, but first criteria, I want it to close above. I want something to prove to me that we're ready to perhaps continue to the upside. Maybe I missed the move because it could just close above, tap in and pull away from that zone. But I'm fine with that. I'm not a problem at all. But we'll see. Need to wait 2 and a bit minutes to see if we get the closure above first of all. Let's see, a minute and a half. Let's see if we get that closure above. But yeah, potential cheeky limit order if this actually closes above the resistance. On a pullback to the high of this bearish candle. Considering placing a sell limit at that point. Using this as the pause candle.
A buy limit.
Buy limit, sorry, not sell limit. Buy limit. But it has to close above that resistance. And again, this is what I do when I'm training away from the stream, guys. I have the plan, I create the rule. If it doesn't tick it, the important thing is to hold off if that is your plan and it just flies. But it doesn't quite tick the box. Trust me, you'll be so much better for it moving forward as far as discipline and emotions. So here we go. We'll be getting that closure above. I've got it set on my broker. It is 191803. I need the closure above. And Oh, Jesus. It's right on. It's not necessarily above. Oh, man.
It really, mine shows it's about half a pip above.
That's a sticking point, is it?
Mine does. My closure's at 838.
I'm going off here, which is...
Yeah, yours is a bit different.
Ah, man.
Mine's a Forex.com.
I've frozen. My MetaTrader is literally frozen. And there it goes. Fuck's sake. That's frustrating. Why have I frozen? Yeah, well, my MetaTrader is completely frozen as well, so... Oh, man. It's literally tap right in, so if anyone executed, to be honest, I'd be out break even probably. Because this thing, once it breaks, the way you go about managing a trade is it's got a slow wick. If it taps into that level, that's where it should have grabbed liquidity from. As soon as it begins to flip again, that's when you should probably get to break even. So yeah, I'll be taken out at break even. But I'm not in it, even if I want to. I'm literally frozen.
So weird. Is that your actual broker's frozen?
Yeah, it's just not moving. It's not, no connection. Scan servers. Oh. Unless it's just the MetaTrader completely. Just gone, it's frozen. Anyway. Probably lucky. Why I say lucky, because if I did enter it and wasn't able to get to break even, I would be stuck in, well, yeah, be around break even just now either way, but I couldn't close it. I don't even have it on my phone. So I can't manage it on my phone either way, if that was to be the case. Probably should download it on my phone. Yeah, so that was the plan, but it has to, like, we can visually see a closure above. That's what I want it to do. This here is right at it. It may have closed above by a few points or something, but it's just not high enough for me. I need to actually physically, like I said, physically see it. If it closed, for instance, like so, even that point there, that small upper wick, I can see that's actually closed above. It's right on it, just here. So, all good. Here we go. Now I'm back in business. Unreal. Yeah, well that was it. So, yeah, to me, just didn't tick the box. Which is, again, it's a good thing, it's fine. So now I think it's best to wait for the 30. We're rejecting yet again. What I would have anticipated was, once again, we pulled back down, tapped into that 4-hour level, bounced off it, created the current daily candles low, broken the high yet again. Just need that closure above. Simply what you need. You need that closure above, and then we should be right to continue, but it just continues to reject, so it's very hard to trust it at the moment. Gold is just in, I mean, it's in a huge uptrend, but to me it's in no man's land. I just can't see nothing on it. I think James dropped out. Within the current level, it is very choppy. So similar to what I said on EU before, it's really, the more data you print, the more difficult it becomes. So what you really need to do when this is the case is let it create a clean move, whether it be to the downside, to retest this 4-hour zone, that's really what I want to see happen. Form a support above it, and then provide your counts from price action to potentially buy it back up to the upside. If you're looking to sell it, and then again cut through this crap to the left, nice clean move up, only to reject the current daily candles, the resistance form within it, so just below the high, just there. And then again, let it provide your catalyst in price action. That is a disgusting drawing. So similar like so. So let it form a bit of minor support as soon as it begins to break and pop below it. Preferably close below it, even if it, whether it be on 30 or in 15 or even a 5. But what I want to see is preferably a 30-minute prior to it closing back bearish. And then you could look for potential entries from higher up. Otherwise, sells back below the previous 4-hour resistance to the left, below 23730. Buys upon continuation above the high. Joseph, if the next M15 closes as bullish pin bar, would you enter? Bullish pin bar on GJ? As long as it closes above, that's the thing. I mean, look at it, how strong it rejected yet again. So if it closed above, then yeah, I consider it. However, it is also coming to closure to the 4-hour. So what I would suggest is, if this candle does close above, and it would just end up closing a strong bullish candle with a wick down once again into the range below. So I'd just be looking for that tap in, and I want to get triggered into the trade early into new 30-minute, because one concern you have is this 4-hour could always pull back a bit to leave an upper wick. It doesn't necessarily have to, but you'll find if you go through the traffic to the left, nearly every candle will have an upper wick and lower wick. Not all, but most. The majority will. That would be my concern. So I'd want to be triggered in within the first 10 minutes or so of the next M30. But personally for me, what I'm just going to do is, it's not ready to go right now. It's rejecting. I'm just going to wait patiently. Personally, I'm going to go off and make dinner. I'm going to come back and reassess. I'll do an MY update video, which I will post on YouTube, and I will consider my options then. I may trade, I may not, just depends where we are. May make the move in the meantime. If it does, so be it. But I just need to once again reassess, come back and see if I get my option, and if not, move on to tomorrow. But yeah, so that's probably a wrap, guys. Yeah, nothing today, just a really awkward day on the charts. GJ being stubborn again, and gold not really providing anything really that gives me the confidence to trade at the moment. So all good test of discipline, good test of patience, happy with that. Once again, guys, if you haven't liked stream, I think most of you have, please do so. And if you would like to know more about the services that I provide, so the coaching link is down below in the description to that. Give me a follow on IG, TikTok, Twitter. I do post quite regular market analysis, some screenshots of charts on Twitter, so it's definitely worthwhile. Give me a follow as well on that if you have not done so. So yeah, thank you guys. If you are to stay on the charts, trade safe, and I'll catch you later. Cheers, guys. See you tomorrow. I'll be on tomorrow in about 30 minutes or so prior to London Open. See you later. Cheers, guys. Bye for now.